education outputs to enhance employability. Next MOU we are having with Unnati Foundation, and I would request Mr. Ramesh Swamy, Founder Director, Unnati Foundation, to kindly come on the stage. Unnati Foundation and Department of Technical Education, Skill Development and Employment are signing this MOU to facilitate employability-related courses through online LMS support, psychometric analysis, and providing employment opportunity through Udyogam portal to the youth of ITIs of Madhya Pradesh. A huge round of applause. Next, we are having an MOU between One World Alliance Japan with SSR Global Skills Park. For this, I would request Mr. Sain Pal Singh, Director International Relations from One World Alliance Japan. This MOU will prepare the students for placement opportunities in Japan by providing Japanese language training and necessary skill development. Thank you so much, sir. मैं निवेदन करूंगी माननीय मंत्री महोदय इंद्र सिंह परमार सर से, सर कृपया आप आसन ग्रहण करें। साथ ही मैं माननीय मंत्री कौशल विकास एवं रोजगार श्री गौतम टेटवाल जी से निवेदन है कि वे अपने संबोधन से हमारा मार्गदर्शन करें।
नमस्कार। हमारे विशिष्ट अतिथिगण और हमारे सम्मानीय अतिथि निवेशकों का मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। हमारे लिए यह एक गौरव की बात है कि आज हम हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन में एवं हमारे मुख्यमंत्री डॉक्टर मोहन यादव जी के नेतृत्व में विकसित भारत, श्रेष्ठ भारत के संकल्प को साकार करने के लिए एकत्रित हुए। ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट 2025 केवल एक आर्थिक आयोजन नहीं है, बल्कि यह अनंत संभावनाओं से भरे मध्य प्रदेश के विकास के साथ साथ संपूर्ण भारत के विकास के नए द्वार खोल रहा है। यह मंच न केवल निवेशकों को प्रोत्साहित कर रहा है, बल्कि हमारे मानव संसाधन को वैश्विक प्रतिस्पर्धा के योग्य बनाने में भी सहायक सिद्ध होगा। जैसा कि आप सबको विदित है, हम युवा आबादी में संपूर्ण विश्व में प्रथम स्थान पर हैं। यदि इस युवा आबादी को हम कौशल प्रदान कर रोजगार एवं स्वरोजगार से जोड़ दें तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के 2047 के विश्व गुरु के सपने को साकार होने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता। उद्योग के लिए कौशल एवं प्रशिक्षित वर्क फोर्स की आवश्यकता है। आज हमारी प्राथमिकता है कि हम मानव संसाधन में निवेश करें। इस कार्य में भारत सरकार के साथ साथ प्रदेश सरकार भी कृत संकल्पित है। गुणवत्तापूर्ण कौशल विकास प्रदान करने के लिए सरकार के साथ निजी क्षेत्र की कंपनियों की सहभागिता अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है। सरकार की नीतियां मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट एवं मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस के सिद्धांत पर आधारित है। हम हर क्षेत्र में केवल सरकार की ओर से कार्य नहीं करना चाहते, बल्कि इंडस्ट्री और निजी उद्यमी संस्थान प्रदेश सरकार के साथ मिलकर इसे ड्राइव करें। यह सहयोग प्रदेश में उत्कृष्ट बिजनेस इन्वेस्टमेंट इकोसिस्टम निर्मित करेगा। हम अपने अतिथि निवेशकों का इस बात का भरोसा दिलाते हैं कि राज्य सरकार इंडस्ट्री फ्रेंडली पॉलिसी को लागू कर रही है और औद्योगिक इकोसिस्टम को औद्योगिक सुव्यवस्थित बनाया जा रहा है। युवाओं को नई तकनीकी में निपुण बनाने के साथ साथ उन्हें ग्लोबल कंपटीशन की चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए भी तैयार किया जा रहा है। आज इस विषय पर होने वाली चर्चा अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है। हम सभी स्किलिंग सेंटर में निवेश की जरूरत को समझते हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि आज का डिस्कशन इस बात पर केंद्रित हो कि किन किन क्षेत्रों में सरकार का निवेश करना चाहिए और किन क्षेत्रों में इंडस्ट्री को निवेश करना चाहिए। यह समिट केवल निवेशकों को आकर्षित करने का मंच नहीं है, बल्कि यहाँ उद्योग की आवश्यकता को समझने, उसके अनुरूप प्रशिक्षित कार्यबल तैयार करने की नीतियों के निर्माण का माध्यम है। मुझे आप सभी अतिथियों को यह बताने में प्रसन्नता हो रही है कि प्रदेश के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदय के समक्ष एक निजी औद्योगिक प्रतिष्ठान ट्राइडेंट ग्रुप ने संत श्रोमणी रविदास ग्लोबल स्किल पार्क में इंडू योजना के अंतर्गत ट्रेनिंग डिलीवरी, ट्रेनिंग कंटेक्ट उपलब्ध और टेक्निकल पेडागॉजी को विकसित करने की सहभागिता बढ़ाने का निर्णय लिया है और इस दिशा में एमओयू पर हस्ताक्षर किए गए हैं। इस एमओयू के अंतर्गत प्रतिष्ठान ने 100 बच्चों के प्रशिक्षण एवं नियोजन के लिए निवेश किया है। इंडस्ट्री से हमारा अनुरोध है कि वे अपनी आवश्यकताओं को हमारे प्रशिक्षण संस्थानों तक पहुंचाएं ताकि उनकी जरूरत के अनुसार उत्कृष्ट कौशल प्रदान करने की प्रतिबद्धता को पूरा किया जा सके। हम आपको पुनः इस मंच से भरोसा दिलाते हैं कि आपकी और हमारी यह सहभागिता न केवल प्रदेश को बल्कि पूरे देश की प्रगति में नए सोपान जोड़ने का कार्य करेगी। आपके सहयोग और निवेश से हम सभी मिलकर एक समृद्ध, कुशल, आत्मनिर्भर मध्य प्रदेश की ओर अग्रसर हो रहे हैं। धन्यवाद। भारत माता की जय।
धन्यवाद माननीय मंत्री महोदय। अब मैं निवेदन करना चाहूँगी माननीय मंत्री महोदय उच्च शिक्षा, आयुष एवं तकनीकी शिक्षा श्री इंद्र सिंह परमार जी से कि वे अपने आशय वचनों से हमें अनुग्रहित करें।
सबको नमस्कार। इन्वेस्टमेंट ह्यूमन कैपिटल सेशन में इस पैनल डिस्कशन के अवसर पर हमारे बीच उपस्थित हमारे साथी मंत्री आदरणीय गौतम टेटवाल जी, हमारे सेक्रेटरी रघुराज राजन जी, पैनल में उपस्थित सभी सदस्य बंधु भगिनी, यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी सहभागीगण, भाइयों बहनों, मैं सबको नमस्कार करता हूँ, प्रणाम करता हूँ। आप सब मध्य प्रदेश में निवेश के लिए तत्पर है, यह अभिनंदनीय है। मैं आप सबका स्वागत करता हूँ, अभिनंदन करता हूँ। मध्य प्रदेश शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में लगातार आगे बढ़ रहा है। गेट में मध्य प्रदेश देश में दूसरे नंबर पर आ गया है। मध्य प्रदेश में इंजीनियरिंग और पॉलिटेक्निक कॉलेजों के साथ साथ हम एमपीआईटी के कॉन्सेप्ट को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं और मैं समझता हूं कि आप सब लोग तकनीकी शिक्षा में निवेश करें, सरकार के साथ पार्टनर बने और जितने हमारे संस्थान हैं उन संस्थानों को एडॉप्ट करने की ओर आगे बढ़े। आने वाले समय में जिस प्रकार से हमारे विद्यार्थियों का कैंपस से आप चयन करते हैं, उसके बाद उनको ट्रेनिंग देने का काम करते हैं। मैं चाहता हूं कि आप हमारे संस्थानों का चयन करके उसमें अपना एक्सीलेंस सेंटर खोले ताकि इंडस्ट्री रेडी वर्क फोर्स आपको मिल सके। और मैं समझता हूं कि टेक्निकल एजुकेशन को भी आपके संस्थानों का, आपके व्यवसाय का लाभ मिलेगा। और हम, क्योंकि अभी मध्य प्रदेश में हम परंपरागत रूप से जो कोर्स हमारे चल रहे थे उनको हम बदल रहे हैं, परिवर्तन कर रहे हैं। इंडस्ट्री के साथ में क्या मांग है, किस प्रकार के कोर्स डिजाइन करना चाहिए, उस सब पर काम चल रहा है। एआई है, ब्लॉकचेन है, ऐसे विषयों को हम सम्मिलित करते जा रहे हैं। मैं चाहता हूं कि सभी लोग तकनीकी शिक्षा में, उच्च शिक्षा में आप निवेश जरूर करें, पार्टनर बने सरकार के, ताकि हम और अच्छी गुणवत्तापूर्ण शिक्षा देने वाला प्रदेश इसको बना सकते हैं। आइए, आप सबका मैं निवेश के लिए स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं।
धन्यवाद माननीय मंत्री महोदय। हम सभी आश्वस्त हैं कि आपके मार्गदर्शन में प्रदेश के शिक्षा क्षेत्र में नित नवीन उपलब्धियां हासिल करेंगे। Next, moving on to the panel discussion, which is the main attraction of the day. We have a stellar panel in front of us. We have Shri K. Ramakrishnan, Moderator, CEO, L&T Skill Development Mission, Mr. Lim Bung Tiong, Chief Operating Officer, ITE Education Services Singapore, Mr. Gaurav Taneja, Senior Partner, EY, Mr. Vaibhav Goyal, HR Head, Reliance Industries Limited, Mr. Mohammad Badran, Head Indo-German Green Skills GIZ, Ms. Mary Castella, Innovative Team Leader, Schneider Electric, Mr. Navneet Gupta, Managing Director, Essential. Mr. K. Ramakrishnan, sir, over to you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honorable ministers, senior officials from the Madhya Pradesh government, and all the dignitaries who have gathered here. I would like to begin this on a little auspicious note. आज सारा देश प्रयागराज की ओर जा रहा है, वहाँ पर कुंभ मेला हो रहा है, वहाँ पर 3 नदियों का संगम हो रहा है, मगर मैं ये समझता हूँ कि इस ग्लोबल समिट में विचारों का, एक्सपीरियंसेस का और सलाहों का जो संगम यहाँ के लोगों के बीच में हो रहा है, उस विचार मंथन में भी एक जो अमृत निकलेगा वो हमारे इस राज्य और देश का प्रगति में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण योगदान देगा। तो इस कुंभ में भी आपका स्वागत है। Ladies and gentlemen, the topic today is invest in human capital. It's a big topic, but we have just half an hour and we are 7 of us here. First of all, we would like to thank the MP government for giving us an opportunity to be here. And as we set the tone for the discussion that is to follow, I just would like to mention that we here would like to focus on what the state needs and to a larger extent the country needs in terms of getting a skilled manpower. And what we feel is that the key focus should be on high quality, demand driven skilling with a focus on productivity, quality and safety. And to ensure that the discussions is well rounded and covers all the subjects, we also thought that we should focus on a few areas like how does industry and government collaborate, how do we focus on MSMEs, how do we focus on inclusiveness by bringing the women into the workforce, and also how do we cover sectors that is not just into manufacturing but also covers all facets of our economy including agriculture. So what we would like to do today is, after I set the context, I would request each of my co-panelists to share their thoughts, their experiences, their suggestions, keeping these areas in focus, which will be useful to the audience here and which will provide useful inputs to the government of Madhya Pradesh. To begin with, I just wanted to share some thoughts on some experiences. I come from Lasnen Tubro, and Lasnen Tubro has since 1995 trained almost 3,54,000 workmen in construction trades out of 8 construction skill training institutes that we have across the country. We have also recently opened a construction trade center in Mayurbhanj, that is the constituency of the Honorable President of India, which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the ITI ecosystem in the country. And I am very happy to share with you that one of the government that has been very forthcoming, very encouraging, very participative in this initiative of ours has been the Madhya Pradesh Skill Development Project, the Global Skills Park and the Madhya Pradesh Skill Development teams. So I think we should give a big round of applause to the MP team for giving us this initiative. We realize that when we talk of investment, capital, it is not just money. It also calls for investment in terms of resources, in terms of time, and in terms of new ways of doing training for skilling a very capable workforce in the country. And lastly, I just want to share that apart from the few facets that I just shared, there is also a digital element to everything that we do in skilling and education. So I would like my co-panelists to also cover that aspect. So in order to start the discussions, can I start from the left? Can I request Navneet Gupta, my colleague from Accenture, to share his thoughts? Unfortunately, due to limitation of time, हमारे पास सिर्फ 4 या 5 मिनट है for each of the speakers. So we may not be able to share everything, but we try to do as well as possible in the given time. Thank you. Over to you, Navneet.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Respected dignitaries, audience, welcome to the session. I think sir laid a very important context in terms of what we are going through as a society and how important it is to reskill, upskill and focus on human capital. As Accenture, what we have been focusing on is different kinds of engagement with the society as well as individuals. As part of NASSCOM, we are partners to what we call as Skills to Prime, where cumulatively we have trained over 1.8 million people. We have touched their lives to improve their skills. As part of our CSR initiatives, what we are doing is what we call as a program Skills to Succeed, which is reaching to all the different contributors to the society, be it women, be it differently able, and help them upskill and get job ready. I think our chairman in 2017 said that every business will be a digital business. Over the years, I think where we are moving is every humankind needs to be digital literate. And with that ambition in mind, we have come up with our platform, which is called as Learn Vantage, where we bring to the table the ability to identify the skill gaps which exist, curate specific programs for those skills, plan for training the individuals, and then upskill them. Right? So what we are seeing is, there is a great opportunity for corporates as well as the government to partner and do the upskilling and reskilling for the society at large. So with that, I'll hand it over back to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Navneet, for sharing your thoughts on what Accenture is doing with a focus on the digital part of skilling. I would now request Gaurav Taneja from EY, an organization which has been actively involved in collaborating with various state governments in many areas, including skilling. Over to you, Gaurav.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. Given the paucity of time, I will not go into the details, but from our perspective, when we look at the growth of the nation or the state, we are looking at 5 distinct elements, because these elements,
which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the ITI ecosystem.
is what we are here for, large investments. And we've released 18 new policies today. We will have over 110 manufacturing clusters
in the country, and I am very happy to share with you, which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the ITI ecosystem in the country. And I am very happy to share with you, which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the ITI ecosystem in the country. And I am very happy to share with you, which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the ITI ecosystem in the country. And I am very happy to share with you, which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the
requirement for an MSME. The
ITI ecosystem in the country.
People living in many of these tribal areas. The fourth aspect I want to enter, Mr. Ramakrishna alluded to, is women participation. In Madhya Pradesh, currently the women participation in employment is around 30%. It is higher before they get married, but post-marriage and post-children it drops dramatically to as low as 24%. So suggestions around women hostels, working women hostels, suggestions around dormitories where lot of women are employed in garmenting or textiling or in ITES. So the industry can play a role in that sense by not training, but by attracting women back into the workforce, which may have led to some of these things. Of course, a strong ecosystem of creches, so on and so forth. I'm not going into the details. There's whole area around it. And the final point I want to make, because India is 1.4 billion, every state has a fairly large population, is the overseas demand. We are saying that in many parts of Europe and in South Asia, particularly in Japan, the population is aging very rapidly and a more younger workforce is required. So including global skills parks that you have, expanding that to include, if you want to send people overseas, what kind of certification is required, what kind of language training is required, signing MOUs between state governments and foreign countries to make sure that this actually happens. So I'll pause here. We can speak a lot, Mr. Ramakrishnan. I thought I'll just lay it out in 5 broad parameters as I see it.
So much, Gaurav. I think you covered very important aspects of the skilling ecosystem, and it's also nice that you also gave the suggestion of women's hostel, because for women, security and safety is very important in our country. So now we come to Mohammad Badran. He comes from GIZ and with a focus on the green energy job roles. So I would like to hear from him. He will be able to give us an international flavor and sharing of some examples of what possibly India could emulate. He is currently based out of India, by the way. Over to you.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you also so much for this great hospitality what we experienced throughout these 2 days. It's an amazing event, and it shows how much you put effort in order to change the ecosystem of skilling in India, so and especially for Madhya Pradesh. So maybe 2 words about GIZ. So GIZ is a German government company owned by the German government and operating in 120 countries all over the world. And you can see that in most of our locations where we are working, skill development is a major aspect of our work. In most of the cases, either skills development or employment promotion. And what is the reason behind that? We see that vocational training is a major driver for youth employment. And we learned that so much from, let's say, from our home country, where the vocational training was from the beginning a major driver for the industrialization of Germany. So young children, if I look only to my son, for example, he's currently 16, he's looking, should I go to vocational training or higher education? They start from a very young age to see, I can go and earn money from the first day. This is the vocational training system in Germany. They get an apprenticeship, and from the first day, they are already in an employment contract somehow. And it is a very much demand-driven system where the ownership of the vocational training is completely by the private sector. The private sector is shaping the vocational training. And this is what we are trying also to do and to transfer throughout our projects in India. Since 60 years we are operating in India, and we are also currently operating here in Madhya Pradesh through our 2 programs, especially the program with Schneider Electric and the other project with Siemens, what we have currently, which we just signed today, which are public-private partnership projects. They are a good example and a good practice of how the private sector and government can engage directly together, invest directly for their benefits, but also for the complete ecosystem. What we are doing in all of our projects, we have also, let's say, 4 principles which are driving us in our project. The first principle, which I just pointed out, is the cooperative vocational training. So vocational training in alignment or in ownership of the private sector. This is number 1 for us. The second thing is, of course, the inclusivity, and this was mentioned before. We are very much for how to transform or how to see that women can also work in non-traditional jobs. Non-traditional jobs are open for currently majorly for men, but what can we do in order to attract also more women into these jobs? Also green jobs, or let's say one major point also what I want to include to the inclusivity. It's not only for, because it's important to get women in, it's also a very important point to get more innovation. With inclusivity, gender inclusivity, and also inclusivity of marginalized groups, we get naturally innovation into our sectors. Also the green sectors, as such, we are working very much in sectors like solar energy, electromobility. We are working also in the field of Industry 4.0. All of these sectors show that they have a high potential of growing. This is according to statistics, for example, in Europe. And last but not least, we are very much working on international mobility, looking more and more into benchmark our curriculum, what we are developing here in India with curriculum in Germany, because we believe very much that the sectors are merging more and more, and there is more potential to people to mobilize people across borders. Maybe that's it for the moment. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Mohammed. It was very interesting to hear from you about the participation of women in non-traditional roles and the 4 focus areas that you have. I think there is a lot that we can emulate from your experiences abroad. So thank you very much. We now come to the only lady representative in this panel. So ये नारी शक्ति की प्रतीक है. Though she is only one, she is more than all of us. A warm welcome to Marie Castella from Schneider. She's come all the way from France. So, and Schneider is very active in India. As Mohammed also mentioned, they have just signed an MOU with GIZ. We also have had a large association as LNT with Schneider. They have bought a part of our business, the electrical business. And Schneider is a big, big name in the country today. So, over to you, Marie.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me here. So I'm very glad to be here and to share some experience with you. So I work for Schneider Electric. As you may know, Schneider Electric is a global leader of energy management and industrial automation. And Schneider is really committed to train young people for several years. And we have globally many projects. We partner with many NGOs that have some trainings, vocational training centers, and we provide didactic equipment, and we organize also some training of trainers. And I'm proud to say today that the most impactful program that we have is in India, because we partner in India with almost 500 NGO, and we have the support of the Schneider Electric Foundation. So this is very simple. We provide materials and also training of trainers. And today we are proud to launch a project with GIZ and to implement here in the States some digital learning for the young people that wish to join the energy trades. So because as we want to help our entire ecosystem to lead the energy transition, we need more skilled people in this field, meaning that we need to provide competencies and skills related to what the industry needs. And we are able to do at Schneider the links between the educational system and the industry needs in the energy trades. So we developed some digital learning programs because it's a very good way to speed up the production of didactic resources on the latest innovation in this field and also on the latest technologies that are available and needed on the market. And that's why we collaborate with the state in order to deploy this training and to train the youth on these different technologies. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Marie, for throwing light on the wonderful work that your organization is doing, especially in the new renewable energy space, solar and related areas. Thank you very much. I would now move on to my colleague Vaibhav Goel, who is from Reliance Industries Limited. Over to you, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. First of all, my congratulations to the Madhya Pradesh government for organizing this great event. I think this is a great confluence, जैसा कि राम सर ने बोला, महाकुंभ की तरह यहाँ भी एक तरह से समावेश है बहुत सारे विचारों का. Also, my heartiest congratulations to MP Education Department for Global Skills Park. I think it's a wonderful initiative, and ये जो investment हो रहा है, इसका आगे आने वाले टाइम में बहुत अच्छे benefits मिलेंगे सबको. I will keep it very short. Reliance में बहुत सारे ऐसे examples हैं जब industry आई और skilled manpower available नहीं थी. And कैसे without skilled manpower no industry can really survive. But Reliance ने एक से बढ़ के एक innovation किया. एक example है जब जामनगर की first refinery built हो रही थी 90s में, तो 1 लाख welders चाहिए थे, welder technicians, 1 लाख. पूरे इंडिया में इतने नहीं थे. एंड तब वहाँ पे हमारे फाउंडर चेयरमैन के विजन ऐसा था कि आप पूरे इंडिया से इकट्ठे करके लाओ लोग, और जामनगर में ही वहीं पे उनका स्किल स्कूल बनाया. एंड उनका रहने की व्यवस्था करी, खाने पीने की करी, उनको ट्रेन करा 6-6 महीना, और 1 लाख वेल्डर्स को ट्रेन करके रिफाइनरी बिल्ड हुई। और वो वेल्डर्स आज दुनिया भर में और बहुत जगह जाके उन्होंने जॉब किया, अपनी लाइफ बिल्ड करी। अब मध्य प्रदेश का एक एग्जांपल देते हैं। 10 साल पहले रिलायंस ने यहाँ पे कोल बेड मीथेन के बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट किया। शाहडोल डिस्ट्रिक्ट सदर्न मध्य प्रदेश में है, एक ट्राइबल बेल्ट है पूरी तरह। वहाँ पे कोई मेजर इंडस्ट्री पहले नहीं थी कोल माइनिंग के अलावा। पिछले 10 साल में वहाँ पे एक इकोनॉमिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हुआ है। जब स्टार्ट किया था वहाँ पे भी स्किल्ड मैन पावर की कमी थी, कुछ लोग बाहर से लाए, बहुत सारे लोगों को वहाँ पे ट्रेन किया। लेकिन एक छोटा सा उदाहरण दूंगा कि कैसे किसी भी इंडस्ट्री या इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी का एक मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट होता है। अगर हम वहाँ पे एक साल में 1500 से 2000 लोगों को, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स, टेक्नीशियंस को जॉब देते हैं या एम्प्लॉय करते हैं, लेकिन 10 साल में वहाँ पे 20,000 लोग ऐसे हैं जो आए, काम सीखा और आगे बढ़ गए, तो मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट 10 गुना हो गया। एंड पूरे रीजन में वहाँ पे एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है और बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज आज की डेट में इन्वेस्ट कर दी हैं। स्थिति यह है कि अब हमें भी टेक्निकल मैन पावर लेने के लिए हमें भी दिक्कत होती है, हम भी बाहर से कहीं से बड़ी मुश्किल से हायर कर पाते हैं आज की डेट में। बट स्किलिंग का एक बहुत बड़ा एस्पेक्ट है बियॉन्ड इंडस्ट्री। स्किलिंग इज नॉट जस्ट फॉर द जॉब, स्किलिंग इज फॉर बेटर लाइफ। आज की डेट में मध्य प्रदेश में 55% लोग एग्रीकल्चर में हैं, 70 से 75% लोग इंडस्ट्री के बाहर अपना कुछ काम कर रहे हैं। उनकी स्किलिंग को हमें अपने पॉलिसी से, इंटेंट से बाहर नहीं रखना है। इसमें भी कैसे रिलायंस ने कंट्रीब्यूट किया, मैं एक और उदाहरण देता हूँ। शाहडोल एरिया में 150 विलेजेस में रिलायंस फाउंडेशन ने बहुत ग्रास रूट लेवल पे काम किया है। वहाँ पे लोगों को एजुकेशन में, हेल्थ केयर में, स्पोर्ट्स में, सब चीज़ों में स्किल करा, ट्रेन करा। उसका नतीजा ये है कि करीब 100 बच्चे वहाँ से अग्निवीर स्ट्रीम में आर्मी की सेलेक्ट हुए हैं, मध्य प्रदेश पुलिस में सेलेक्ट हुए हैं, मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन फर्स्ट टाइम क्लियर करा है। आर्मी सिलेक्शन, पुलिस सिलेक्शन, मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन क्लियर करना, फुटबॉल एकेडमी बनी है वहाँ पर। ये जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है स्किलिंग का, ये ज़्यादा बड़ा इम्पैक्ट लाएगा सोसाइटी में। इन स्किल से लोग फिर अपना जो काम करते हैं, एग्रीकल्चर में करते हैं, छोटा मोटा बिजनेस करते हैं, वहाँ पे भी ट्रेन होता है। एंड मेरा ऐसा पर्सनल प्रोफेशनल व्यू है कि इंडस्ट्री को आगे बढ़ के लाइक मिस्टर मोहम्मद सेड, डिमांड ड्रिवन स्किलिंग के बियॉन्ड जाना होगा और कंट्रीब्यूट करना होगा कि ओवरऑल हर सेगमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटी में स्किल लेवल्स कैसे इंप्रूव हो, प्रोडक्टिविटी कैसे इंप्रूव हो। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Vaibhav, for talking about the multiplier effect and also how to improve the quality of life and giving examples of what Reliance has done in Shahdol. We now again go across the Indian Ocean and we go to Singapore. So we have Mr. Lin from ITEES. They have just signed an MOU, also actively involved in India and with the Madhya Pradesh government. So over to you, Lin.
Thank you. First of all, let me congratulate the government of Madhya Pradesh for holding a very important summit. And the title of this session is Human Capital Development. I feel that this is a very apt session because human capital development and industry development are two sides of the same coin. They are the two wings
who are deployed in the IT.
Can't have one without the other. Congratulations that you have put skills development as one of the priority. And I must say that IT Education Services, we are very honored to be the strategic partner of the Department of Technical Education, Skills Development and Employment. For the last 8 years, we have worked tirelessly with your partner in the Department of Skills, in the COSA project, in the Global Skills Park, Center for Skills Acquisition Training Program. And we are very honored that today we are seeing this project has come to a great success. Congratulations once again. Now, I'd like to share with you some thoughts regarding human capital development through skills. So the question is, what are we to invest in, right? The topic is investment. May I suggest to you 3 areas to seriously consider your investment. Number 1, invest in the physical infrastructure. You know, for the longest time, technical and vocational training has been neglected in terms of the facilities. Students are using outdated equipment, and even if they have the latest equipment, it's insufficient. You have 20 students surrounding one piece of equipment, so only one person gets to train, the rest are audiences, spectators. So invest in the infrastructure is one of the key ingredients to transform the skilling ecosystem. And when students walk into your institution, they must feel proud that they are part of this institution. And today I must congratulate your government again for setting up the Global Skill Park, a very well-developed, world-class skilling institution. However, Madhya Pradesh, in terms of population, is the 5th largest in India. Is one Global Skill Park sufficient? I leave that question to you. Perhaps the government of Madhya Pradesh might want to consider setting up a few more Global Skill Park, a few more skilling institutions, and upgrade your 1,000 over ITIs. And when that day comes, it may take 5 years, 10 years, but when that day comes, I believe Madhya Pradesh will be the economic powerhouse of India. Secondly, invest in the software. You know that skills is so important. Industry, employers, they want productivity. There's only one thing that's at the foremost of their business, and that's profitability. They want a productive workforce. For the longest time, students in vocational education, their training curriculum doesn't match what the industry needs. This gap must be plugged. Industry partnership is not a choice. It is mandatory because industry is at the forefront of technology. Today, we are talking about automation, Industry 4.0. In fact, Industry 5.0 is already knocking at our doors. We are talking about AI. Things are changing very fast at the workplace. And if our training programs are not constantly refreshed and updated, guess what? Our students will not get the latest training and they will become redundant over time. And that's where there is a there's a gap need to be plugged. So invest in software, invest in the curriculum, ensure that the curriculum is always updated and stay relevant to industry needs. Thirdly, invest in the hardware. H-E-A-R-T, hardware. By that, I'm referring to the teachers, the trainers, the people who run your institution. There is a saying that goes like this: if you give peanuts, you get monkeys. That's how the pun is. So consider making sure that your trainers are sufficiently compensated, because we want to get good trainers. There's a saying that goes like this: a student is never above the master. A disciple is never above the teacher. So invest in the well-being of the hardware, the people, the trainers, the people who run your institution. Right. So these are the 3 areas. Finally, let me conclude by saying that today is really a crossroad for Madhya Pradesh. I can see a lot of excitement, huge crowd, and you are really on the way to become the economic powerhouse of India. And I must say that this is just the beginning. 2 words I want to share with you, and that is, be bold in skill development. Secondly, we need to sustain your effort. What has been started in the Global Skill Park by your Department of Skills is admirable, it's fantastic, but it is just a beginning. You need to sustain the quality, you need to sustain the structure, you need to continue on, because we still have 1,000 ITIs that need to be upgraded. So may I suggest the hub and spoke model. Your GSP can become the center, can become the hub, and the rest of the ITI can become the spoke. And with that, I wish you every success in this summit, but more importantly, I wish you success as you walk this journey to transform Madhya Pradesh and become the investor's choice in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Liv. That was very enlightening, especially on the hardware and the sustainability part. I'm sure the government of Madhya Pradesh will take these things to heart, and they will ensure that it is become part of the policy that you're making. Ladies and gentlemen, we are actually behind time. I don't know whether we can have a question answer session. No?
So definitely we can take 3 questions from the audience. So if anyone has a question, kindly raise your hand, and volunteers please hand over a mic to him. Only 3 questions, please.
Yeah, before that, Gaurav has to catch a flight at 4 o'clock. It was very nice of him to be with us. So with everybody's permission, he may be allowed to leave. It's okay. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Hello.
Please, when you ask your question,
hello,
you can also address the person whom you would like to answer.
Yes, sir. Am I audible? Am I audible, sir? Yeah. Sir, good afternoon to all. And first of all, I would like to congratulate MP government and Department of Skill Development for conducting such session. I am Professor Manish Bhargav from NITR, NITTR Bhopal, and 65 we are imparting this training to all the trainers of the education system. Now we are having Center of Excellence in our campus also.
Can you please come to the question?
Yeah, my question is to Lin Boon Chun, Vaibhav Goyal and Mari, Miss Mary. So we would like to contribute in terms of skill. As you rightly said, we have already done the skill mapping for the industry as well as the educational system. So we would like to contribute in training to the trainers first, upskilling and reskilling also, as well as we want to give you our expertise to develop industry 4.0 compatible systems and expertise. So how we can ahead and we can tie up with your own organization also.
Okay. I think, yeah. Thank you for that question. And I think there's a wonderful thought behind that. Very progressive. We are looking at the future skills. Well, let me share that skills development and skills training is really training for the future. You train today, but they come out from the system 2 years later. So you are always looking at the future. So Industry 4.0 is one of the emerging technologies. Now, there's always 2 ways to go about doing it, right? If you do not have something, okay, let me share something interesting. If you do not have something, you have 2 options that you can do. Number 1, you steal from somebody, right? You don't have, you steal from somebody. But apparently you can't do that. That is wrong. The second option is you borrow from somebody who have it. And that's what I want to suggest, that borrow from somebody, the technology that you want to import into your state. But bear in mind, when you borrow something, you must return back. There is a short window period of opportunity. And that is where you need to train your people. You need to transfer the knowledge and the know-how to your own people so that you can build your own core. So this is probably the faster way than to develop from scratch. That is how many people learn from one another, right? It's actually borrowing the knowledge. Yeah. I hope I answered that question.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you, sir. You must excuse us. You had one question and you wanted 3 answers. We'll give you 1 answer because we have no time. So we'll go to the next question.
जी सर नमस्कार, मैं राकेश कुशवाहा हूँ। वैसे इसकी राजनीति करता हूँ और मैंने इंस्टीट्यूट चालू किया है, द लीडर इंस्टीट्यूट एंड कंसल्टेंसी। एक्चुअली मैं अपना बैकग्राउंड 10 सेकंड में खत्म करता हूँ। ये सीखो कमाओ योजना है ना, अभी चल रही इसी कंसेप्ट में, इस कौशल में, इसका कंसेप्ट ही मैंने बनाया हुआ है। लोगों को पता नहीं है। एक और कंसेप्ट बता रहा हूँ, लाडली बहना जो योजना है ना, इसका नाम था ऑल ग्लोबल सर्विस राइट। इसको भी मैंने बनाया था, उस सिंधिया महाराज को दिया था, उन्होंने इसको एग्जीक्यूट करवाया मिस्टर लोअर। ठीक है, अब मैं अपने बारे में बता रहा हूँ। तो मैंने ये देखा है।
Excuse me, sir. So we would request you directly question to ask because we are running out of time.
कुछ आ रहा हूँ। अब मेरा ये है कि हम लोग कब तक लोगों को नौकर बनाते रहेंगे? मतलब उनको क्या कर रहा है, हम नौकरी सिखा रहे हैं देना। हम एक लीडरशिप स्किल क्यों नहीं देना चाहते? मतलब लीडरशिप का मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम नेता बना रहे हैं। लीडरशिप मतलब हर एक सेक्टर में, एनर्जी हो, 50 सेक्टर, पावर सेक्टर, जो भी अपने उन सब में उनको लीडरशिप का स्किल आना चाहिए। उसके लिए हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं और गवर्नमेंट हमारी क्या उसके लिए करना चाहती है, इस पर फोकस करना चाहिए। और मैं चाहता हूँ, मेरा ये विचार है कि द लीडर स्टूडेंट कंसल्टेंट चालू किया है, उसके लिए हमें क्या सहयोग मिल सकता है कि मैं लीडरशिप स्किल डेवलप करूँ।
जी बिल्कुल।
आपका संक्षेप में मैं जवाब देता हूँ। आपको पता होगा कि ITI करिकुलम में 1.5 साल पहले एक मॉड्यूल इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था विच इज कॉल्ड एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी स्किल्स, और उसमें टीम बिल्डिंग, लीडरशिप, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल सब सिखाया जाता है। इट इज 120 आवर मॉड्यूल। सो ITI लेवल में ये तो शुरू हो ही गया है, और आई थिंक स्कूल्स में भी ये आता ही रहेगा एज पर NEP 2020। ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच। लास्ट क्वेश्चन।
I would request, please be precise on your question. Just introduce yourself and then come directly to the question.
Hello, my name is Mayank Gupta and I'm founder of Elaborate Technology, an IT service SaaS-based company. And I have a proposal in regards to AI. As my question to Mary ma'am is, so like how AI can create an impact in education industry and how it can resolve employment solution all over around the world. I have a good proposal from my end. I was about to discuss, but I haven't got any chance. So that's why I'm speaking over here.
Okay, thanks for your question. So artificial intelligence is a really great tool, I think, to produce e-learning first, but also to offer new possibilities to the learners. So at Schneider Electric, for example, we would like to bring together all our expertise, document and so on, and then be able to provide like online teachers that could answer to some learners' questions based on documentation and expertise that are certified by Schneider Electric, or with other content that can be validated by ourselves. This is one possibility, but I'm sure there is a lot that we even don't know today, and we would like to explore this with some partners that are specialists, because I think it opens a lot of
ITI ecosystem in the country, and I am very happy to share with you, which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the ITI ecosystem in the country. And I am very happy to share with you, which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the IT. These forums that provide an opportunity of sharing of these experiences. What we need to do is, each one of you, if you have heard of such good experiences, try to share the thought, share the story, so that, as Vaibhav said, we will have a multiplier effect in this country and we will really progress towards a Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward, we just have a few announcements. I would request our guests to please be seated. We have a few announcements. I would request Mr. Girish Sharma, Additional Secretary to the Department, to announce the intentions to invest.
Good afternoon. It's my privilege to announce two transformative investments in Madhya Pradesh's education and skill development landscape. The first intention to invest is by Jagran Social Welfare Society, represented by Shri Hari Mohan Gupta, Chairman, in partnership with Shrewsbury School UK. JSWS will establish a fully residential international school in Bhopal with an investment of rupees 500 crores. Set to begin in August 2025, the project will offer world-class education for students aged 11 to 18 and create over 500 jobs. The second intention to invest is by the Vishwakarma Group, represented by Dr. Bharat Agrawal, President of Vishwakarma University. With a rupees 500 crores investment over the next 3 to 5 years, they plan to set up a self-financed private university in the state. The university aims to educate 25,000 students, generate 2,000 jobs while fostering research and entrepreneurship. These investments mark a significant step towards establishing Madhya Pradesh as a leading education and skilling hub, empowering youth for a brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would request Mr. Neeraj Sahai, Director, External Relations, Global Skill Park, to kindly honor our guest. We have Mr. Hari.
Ecosystem in the country, and I am very happy to share with you, which is only focusing on training of women. We also have a setup, an academy called the Skill Trainers Academy, which is only focusing on training of trainers who are deployed in the ITI ecosystem in the country. And I am very happy to share with you, which is only focusing on training of women.